I am about to boil a journal. Hey, it's Bobi, aka Paginator, and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I did some dyeing of paper with red cabbage and got this beautiful blue color, and I still have this half of a cabbage left, and I'd like to use it before it goes bad. I don't really have other stuff to make a salad to eat, so I thought, okay, what would Louisa do? And I remembered a video that she did a while ago where she boiled an entire journal. I have tried that before and it was really fun. I don't think I ever showed you guys, but we're going to create a blue themed journal and then boil it in red cabbage water to make it even more blue. I'm going to take this, I've got some water heating up on the stove. I'm going to chop this up into small pieces and get it going on the heat because we have to boil this cabbage, let it simmer for about an hour, and then strain it out and use the water to dye the journal. So let's go put this in the water. Here's a good look at the cabbage. It's chopped up, and if I had to guess how much water is in here, maybe about a gallon. Yesterday I used a little bit less because I was just dyeing a small patch of paper. But we're gonna see if we can make sure we have enough water to cover the journal eventually. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for about an hour. So let's take a look at the papers and things we're gonna be putting in this journal. I have a set of gorgeous blue and white scrapbook papers. These were 12 by 12 and I cut them down to letter size. Okay, and I know they're already mostly all blue, but I want to see what the dye will do to this paper. These are double-sided, which is really nice. We have some laser jet copy paper from Hammer Mill. I've got 2 pieces of doily. This is a half of a doily, and then this is a full one. Those are going to go into the signatures. And then I've got some paper doilies. I have the cutoffs from the copy paper because I ordered a larger size, so I trimmed off the ends. And then I also have these cutoffs from when I cut down the scrapbook paper. I have a bunch of envelopes here, and a lot of these already have blue on them. But I want to test different kinds of papers and see what happens with this cabbage dyeing. So we're just going to try out different things and see how it looks at the end. This one's plain white. This one is kind of like a linen recycled paper maybe kind of envelope. This is some packaging from some M&S chocolates that I was gifted at Christmas, and it goes with our blue theme. And then while I was at the dollar store, I was going to buy some new kitchen towels, and I saw this giant word find book, and I thought, oh, let's try some of this like super cheap paper that comes in these kind of books and see what the dye does to that as well. I also have some fabric things that I'm going to show you that will be part of the cover. And I have some other blue things that will go into it once the journal's cooked. I feel like I don't want to dye everything. My idea is to make a pieced cover with a paper bag and some fabric. I've got this fabric here that already looks kind of pieced. I have this with the paisleys. I have this that's just some tiny little florally bits. Are they even flowers? No, they're not. But you get the idea. I have this piece that I thought would be nice to go on the spine. This is, I got this at a yard sale last summer. And then I have a couple of pieces of lace. This was on top of this. It was attached here around the circle, but I pulled it off. And then I've got this piece of white lace here that I thought we'd just throw into dye, and this little scrap from one of those doilies that we saw a bit ago. So I need to assemble signatures and a cover while the cabbage water is cooking. So let's see if we can get some things put together here. I found a couple other pieces of paper just sitting in my desk drawer from another thing I've been working on recently. This is some watercolor paper that's quite heavy. I think it's like 300 GSM. And we have a couple of book pages. This one's obviously sheet music, and this one is about games and pastimes. So got my bone folder. Let's get working on the signatures. Okay, after my little mango snack break, I was able to assemble piles, and I just did this kind of randomly. Like, there were 12 pieces of the blue scrapbook paper, so 3 pieces each. Same thing with the white copy paper and so on. I just kind of trying not to overthink this. What I'll do is sort the signature piles to put the pages in the order I want. The big paper doilies are gonna have to get trimmed down, and then we'll start working on the cover. When I assemble signature piles, it's very much a gut feeling kind of thing. I like to put kind of things laid out here into maybe categories, kind of random stuff, envelopes, small pieces, and so on, and just start pulling whatever I feel like I want first. Let's take this, and then this music paper, and we'll do a doily, and let's do this small piece and one of these small pieces, and then maybe this paper, an envelope. Or am I even holding that in frame, you guys? I'm so sorry if I was on frame. Let's see. So I'm gonna put 2 of the printed small pieces, and then another envelope, and the white paper again. This paper. All right, so maybe I'll put one of these small ones here. Oh, maybe we could do both. I was gonna say I don't necessarily have to use all the pieces that I picked out, but let's try this. I'll snip off the top and bottom of those paper doilies. And then let's just do a clamp to hold it, and I'll do the same process for the other 3 signatures and come back to you. Okay, my 4 signatures are assembled, so this is the one you saw me put together, and then we have number 2 and number 3 and number 4. Now it's time to switch gears and start building the cover. I have a paper bag and some fabric that I'm going to be using, so we will grab those things and get started. So here's my thought on the covers. I'm going to do this fabric to cover the paper bag on both sides, inside and the outside. And then I will use some of the other fabrics that I showed you and top stitch over that. So I don't know ultimately what this is gonna look like. We're just kind of playing by ear. And I want to tear my fabric because I think it just looks way better when you're doing that. Actually, you know what? Before I even do that, I need to tear across the top because we've got the selvage edge here and it doesn't look so nice. I'm going to apply Mod Podge, and it always works better for me if I do this like half at a time. I could use my bigger Mod Podge brush, but Then I have to pour the Mod Podge into a bowl to be able to get it all over the wide brush. So we'll just use this paintbrush. It's nothing super fancy. It's from the $1.25 tree. So this part is where things can really go wrong. So this is why I do it half at a time, just in case. Okay, I want to smooth that out over the Mod Podge as best I can. And then we'll do the same with the other half. If you're making a cover like this and you do not have a sewing machine, you'll want to do more glue, or maybe like a heavy bookbinder's glue to really hold this on. But since I'm going to be sewing, I don't need it to be as strong of a hold as I would otherwise. Okay, let's repeat the process with the other piece. I'm done with the Mod Podge, so I'm going to clean the glass mat and get that out of the way, and then we'll be back to do more work on the cover. Alright, so I think what I would like to do is figure out the front cover and how to place things. So I'm going to fold this piece in half so that I know my approximate middle here. Okay, so I've creased that really well. It's right here where my finger is. And I'm going to place this here and pin it in place. If I remember where my pins are. Okay, maybe we're not going to pin it in place. Every time I sew, I put my pin somewhere different. Oh, wait, hang on. I didn't find all of them, but I saw two that were sitting here. So we're going to pin this here and here. And then I thought maybe we'd take a piece of this. Let's just tear a small piece. Where is my end? Here we go. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to unpin this. Hang on. Changing our minds. I'm going to take this and just put a bit of Fabri-Tac at the top and bottom to hold it in place. And let's do the same, like tear a piece of this as well and put this here. So I think what I'll do is sew around these pieces to make the patches really stand out, and then sew our two cover pieces together. No, I don't want to do that. I want to add this circle thing before I sew the two covers together. Hang on. Sometimes I know what I'm doing, I promise you guys. All right, these are sewed on, and now we're going to fold this in half again because I really want to make sure that I've got the middle. Okay. There's a gap between these two pieces of fabric here, so I'm lining up that gap with my creases. So this is quite thick because of the batting stuff underneath, and I didn't want to fight to battle to kind of get this off. So I'm gonna go around the outside of the circle and see how we do. All right, I sewed around it once with just a straight running stitch and then again with the zigzag, and then went ahead and sewed our cover pieces together the same way, just single stitch and then a zigzag all the way around. So these are now sewed together and our cover is ready. I am a little bit worried about attaching signatures with this giant button in the way. I did not think that through. Let's come up with a plan. I have this bookbinding cradle thing, and I'm gonna pick marks so that I can do 4 holes instead of 3. So if I do my papers, let's see. Are they as wide as the cover? No, they are not. Okay. Almost. So if we do our paper punching at 2, 7, 12 and 21. No, 2, 7, 13, and 21. 2, 7, 13, and 21. We'll punch our signatures, and that should place them away from the button. I need to write that down or I'm going to forget. Okay, so 2, 7, 13, and 21. All right. We'll go ahead and get the rest of these punched. When I use this punching cradle thing, even though it's awesome, I often will go back with my awl and just make the holes. Ow! And stab myself and make the holes bigger. Just when it comes to binding, it's a little bit easier to work with. Gosh dang it. Now, my camera's about to die, and I can tell already that I'm in a sweary kind of mood today. So let me just do the rest of these off camera, and then we'll come back when we're good. Okay, our signatures are sewed in, and one of them sits a little bit higher than the others. I'm gonna let it go because I've already re-sewed one of the signatures once, and my fingers hurt from the needle, and yeah, we're just moving along. So the cabbage water was done cooking, and I put some in a clear bottle, and I'm still not sure if you can be able to see the gorgeous blue color there. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah, sorry, there's not a great way for me to show that right now, but you'll see when the paper comes out, especially the white paper, what a beautiful blue color it creates. So we're also not going to spend too much time talking about the signatures on the spine because the button created some other problems, and yeah, we're just going to move right along. So let's just get this ready to boil. So I'm going to lay out 2 towels. These are hand towels that I got at the dollar store. I put one this way and one this way just to help wrap this. So we've got our journal, and then we're gonna add some of those extra bits, not that, the lace that I showed you. I'm just gonna put it on top here. I've got what's left of the binding string that I sewed the signatures in. And I've been having this kind of internal debate. Should I add some oxide sprays just to see what the oxidation does? And I kind of feel like it would be a shame to waste the opportunity. I don't have any blue toned oxide sprays, but I've got some walnut stain oxide spray, so I'm gonna give this a shake. There is some brown bits on the cover here, and plus it's good to have not everything be blue. So I think I'm just going to randomly choose some pages to do some oxide spraying on. And we'll see how the cabbage water interacts with the oxide. Start with the bottom towel. Wrap this. Wrap this. All right, I'm gonna tie this up so it's nice and tight, and then we're gonna put it into the water. Here's our cabbage water, and we're gonna put this baby down in here. I did add some alum to the water, so I still think everything will be dyed blue, but if it comes out purple, you know what? I won't be mad at that either. This has been sitting off the heat for a while, but it's still quite warm. I'm just trying to smush it down as much as I can. Some of the corners are going to be bent a bit, but you know what? I don't mind that. And we're going to turn the heat back on. We're going to bring it up to a boil, and then we will simmer it for another hour. Okay, it has boiled or simmered for an hour now, and it is steaming hot, so we're going to wait until it's cooled down before we open it up and see the results. This is our leftover water, and you can see it is absolutely purple, not blue. Crap. You know what? That's okay. We love purple too. It's actually my school color, so we're good there. All right, I'll be back in a bit with the results. Okay, I've let it cool down for about an hour or so. I still have gloves on because I don't want my hands to become blue or purple or whatever. I'd cut the strings, but I have not opened it. You're seeing it for the first time with me. Okay, I think we went more purple than blue this time. A little disappointing, but not terribly so. Okay, so here's our fabric scraps. We're gonna get our journal. I'm gonna lay out a dry towel and then we'll see if we can go through the pages at all. This is completely soaked, but that is kind of the idea. I have this palette knife. We'll see if it can help me kind of lift up the papers so that I don't destroy them. Okay, can you see the blue dye on here? It looks gorgeous. Oh no, this one ripped. You know what, that can happen. So this will save to go into collage fodder or something, I guess. No sense in throwing it out, right? I really hope that that doesn't happen with all of my papers because that's a lot. I don't want to lose it all. Oh, okay. Some of the sheet music has transferred. I don't know if you can see this, but we got notes going like this here. Here's one of our paper doilies. Am I going to be able to lift this without destroying it? Huh. Apparently not. This is getting ripped in half. Shoot. Here's one of our small scrapbook pages. I'm not quite sure what to do with this piece. I guess we'll just take it off. If I can get a hold of any of it. Ah. No. So while I'm filming this, it is Super Bowl Sunday, and I wasn't even gonna watch the game, but I started a movie and I was just not into it, and I had been watching YouTube videos up until that point, and I just was like, you know what, I want to watch something else, so I might as well put on the game, and then I'll know what the crap my students are talking about when they can't shut up about it tomorrow at school. So far, we're in the first quarter, and the Eagles have scored a touchdown. Okay, here's our like handmade paper envelope. That's really pretty. Look at that oxidation. Very nice, very nice. Now I know that cabbage is a pH indicator, so it's gonna do different things with different materials and things that, like, let's say coffee would. For example, if you add baking soda to the cabbage water, it will go green. And I heard somebody say that if you add some, oh, look at that, like the frame around where the envelope is, that's gorgeous. And I heard somebody say that if you add vinegar, it will go pink. This is pretty. And the edge is like, the dark blue on the edge is just really, it's soaked in. Ooh, I love it. Ooh, look at all that color saturation in the middle. I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to the Super Bowl commercials because I just have been busy working on projects and stuff. While this was cooking and that kind of thing, I was working on a jumbo journaling card for my personal journal, and then I was building signatures for another one. So my eyes haven't been up looking at the TV very much. So there could have been some fantastic commercials that I just kind of tuned out. If you watched the Super Bowl, let me know if you saw any good commercials. Okay, so these pages aren't wanting to like lay down flat, which I mean makes sense because they're soaking wet, but it would be nice if they would cooperate a little bit more. Okay. That blue is gorgeous right there. And we've got some of the colors from, I think from the envelope, soaking up there. This, I believe, is the other half of our little page that ripped out. Yep, and here it comes. So more collage fodder. So we've got through the first signature, almost the first signature. I'm gonna stop talking and unmute the football game and just let you watch while I peel through all of these pages, and hopefully it won't take 10 years. Okay, we've gone through and separated all the pages, or at least once, and you can see some of them are torn. This one's flopped over. There's some things that are gonna need some repairs. Some things are gonna be completely removed. I've turned back to the center of the journal because I'm gonna put this on a hanger, a clothes hanger, and hang it to drip dry a little bit, and go from there. So that's gonna be it for this video. When this is all dried out, which is going to take a few days actually, then I may come back and show you another flip through. It depends on if you're interested in that. So let me know in the space below if you'd like to see a flip through once everything's dry, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading, crafting, or journaling. Adios.